So what up everybody, back again with another video. But this is like the new segment, right? Nobody knew. Actually, I thought about this today, then I was like, no, actually let me share some ideas. Let me try and educate people, right? Those who already know this, then it's a bonus to them, but those who don't know, actually is something that they should know. So today, what are we talking about? Interesting topic. So this is the Rvest Masterclass, first episode, never been done before. I'm actually trying it out based on the responses. Then maybe if people are appreciating this, then I'll actually continue doing this. So what are we talking about today? So we talk about a fundamental topic or fundamental, if I can say, subject to business, right? Each and every business, they use this, they use it. And each and every individual, they use this too, right? Actually, it's part of our life. It makes our lives. That's what I'm talking about. Credit. So what is credit? So when I checked on Google, actually it told me that it's when a consumer takes something or takes a good, I don't want to use credit, I don't want to use the name credit, takes a good without paying for the good with the trust that they will actually pay later, right? Obviously, the person that is giving, or the juristic person or the company that is giving that person that thing on a loan or on credit, since I've defined credit, then they will charge interest rate, right, for actually taking this thing before time, right? Actually, when you study economics, you get to see that credit is actually, it's something that is done everywhere by a business, by an individual, right? So the key questions that we have today is that, is credit good or bad? Think about it. But thing is, I wouldn't say that it's good or bad. Like, I wouldn't have a binary answer. It would depend. So today we'll actually take cases, 2 cases, right, or 3. Then among those cases, we'll actually check with the scale of probabilities which one is actually better to do, right? I already have my bias, but actually I won't share what my bias is, right? I won't tell you what I think is good now. I'll first share different stories, then from those stories you'll actually extrapolate from that okay, this one is good and this one is not good, right? So we'll take different stories. So let's take a story. So this Sipho, right? I know it's a familiar, famous name when it comes to case studies. So this Sipho has, Sipho wants to buy. So okay, why are we living, right? So let's look at this. So we're living, sorry, all right. So we're living so that we actually be happy. The reason you're working is so that you can get happiness, right? So Sipho earns 10,000. 10,000. That's how much Sipho earns, right? But due to expenses, life being expensive, Sipho can afford maybe the type of clothes that he wants, right? He wants to wear maybe expensive clothes, right? So what does Sipho do? Sipho says, okay, let me take an account. Let me take an account, right? Here's an account. That account, maybe they give him 5,000 credit, right? So since they're giving him 5,000 credit, on credit, that means he can take clothes on loan, right? Instead of Sipho saving 500 for actually 10 months to actually have that 5,000, Sipho decides to actually have it quicker, because it will take time. By the time he wears the jean or buys that jean from savings, actually that jean you get out of it, it's no longer in fashion. So that will not do good to see Sipho's utility. So Sipho is trying to maximize his utility, saying, okay, now I'm gonna buy this jean now, right? So we will see that actually when you look at that graph, Sipho will be happy, right? So this is Sipho. This is the utility graph. So this is time, this is utility, right? So SIPO, it will be like this. So SIPO will be here on month 1. So we can see SIPO's is actually happy, right? It's month 1, he bought everything that he wants, right? But now he actually has to pay back that 5,000, right? So paying back that 5,000, remember now it's no longer 5,000 that is paying. Actually, it's 5,000 plus interest, right? So if you look at it, if now it's plus interest, SIPO now has to, let's say his installment will actually, depending on the interest rate. So his installment, let's say for the next 10 months, maybe let's say we'll fix time the time to 10. So SIPO has to pay for 10 months. So with that interest rate, let's take SIPO paying how much? Paying 700 for 10 months. That means out of that 700, out of that 700, 500 is going back to the loan, then the 200 is actually paying the interest rate, right? But there's a key thing. SIPO was actually not affording in the first place. So on top of not affording, now he has to take out 700. What will happen to the utility? Actually, we'll see that as time goes, SIPO will be here, maybe on month 4. SIPO is tired of taking out 700 each and every month. And due to life changes, SIPO will actually come across bigger problems in life, and will actually not even afford that 700 anymore. We know, I'm guilty of that. I took something and I was paying, but after 6 months, actually I was tired of paying because even my life problems were changing, right? So now what would this mean? SIPO might actually borrow money from someone just to make ends meet, right? But remember, the reason I said 10,000 is because this 10,000 is fixed. It doesn't change. SIPO is still earning 10,000. But his problems due to credit, right? He will keep on taking more credit, but the 10,000 is still fixed. That means SIPO will actually have more stress, right? So SIPO, as time goes, actually will be here, and eventually he might die because of stress. So that's case 1, right? That's case 1. That's where SIPO actually takes credit just to spend, right? Just to spend. That means SIPO is the one paying for the loan, or paying for the loan that he took, for the credit that he took. He's the one paying. So that's case 1. So we'll call that case number 1, you paying for the loan, right? There's a fundamental thing that you should learn here. So case 2, let's look at the case number 2. So case number 2, we have Obuhle, anyone, 5,000, and also this is still the same graph. This is case 2. So now we look at this. So now what does case 2 say? Case 2 says, yes, take a loan. However, don't take a loan to spend, right? Take a loan and put it in some sort of a model, or an investment model that will actually generate enough funds to actually pay back the loan and also pay you. So in the long run, we have that good. So now let's take someone who actually earns more than 10,000, so that the person actually, it doesn't even have to be more than 10,000, right? Let's stick with the same 10,000, right? So what does Obuhle do? So Obuhle is like, okay, cool, I'll open also a clothing account, right? Which I'll take a small credit, which, like, let's say I take a 300 credit, I just pay 30 rands, or like a small credit, not too much, so that I can create a track record for myself that I'm actually a good debtor. Once I've done that, then I'm also working, I have a pay slip. So I can go to the bank and actually take a 17,000 loan, right? If you watched the podcast last week, you'll actually get to see that Sikha was explaining this Uber thing, how it works. So Obuhle takes a 17,000 loan. So instead of Ogutle spending that 17,000, actually Ogutle says to herself, okay, let me buy a bike and lease it out, right? So what Ogutle does is that she leases out the bike, right? So after leasing out the bike, actually, uh, when we're calculating the bike, she buys it 17K, right? So buys 17K. Then the bike only, obviously, when you take a loan of 17K, they'll give you like 36 months, right, to actually pay it back, right? So the installment won't be that much. Actually, won't be even more than 3K, right? It actually be less. Let's say even, for argument's sake, we'll say 1.5, right? For 36 months. So what happens now is that Okuhle is like, fine, I got this loan. So buy the bike, then after buying a bike, lease it out. The bike actually makes 2,600 a month, right? The bike makes 2,600 a month, just profit when you lease it out, right? So if you look at this, times 10, not 100, but times 10, Ogutle would have made, in 10 months will make actually 26,000. Less 17, that's actually profit. 9,000 is profit for Ogutle, but it's not really profit because it still has to pay what? The interest rate. The interest rate is not even, the interest rate for banks is actually up between sometimes 5 to actually, let's say 18, right? Actually, with the remainder, we'll be able to pay the interest rate and actually have more. Why is this good now? The reason this is good, it's because now she'll be able to, the bike will pay itself, basically pay the loan taken, pay the interest rate, and pay the interest at it, then also pay Oguhle, right? Then but the bike is actually a lasting asset. What does that mean? So a lasting asset, it means that after 10 months, when Oguhle has paid everything, Oguhle will be receiving 2,600 each and every month. So Oguhle will no longer be on 10,000, will be here. Plus 2,600 each and every month, right? But is this all? Actually not. It's not. It's not all. Because now comes a time, Oguhle says, now I want to sell this bike. I'm okay, right? You will see that Oguhle will even add more because she bought it for 17. Maybe 3 years down the line, the bike will be worth 12 to 15K, right? So she can even sell it, right? Now, what happens to a utility? Yes, a utility doesn't start here, like SIPO. A utility starts here, but actually it keeps on going up. Keeps on going up because if she repeats this multiple times, actually, Oguhle might even end at getting about even 20K a month. That's 100% increase just from using the 10K and the small credit that she got, right? So what does this teach us? That it's actually, if you take a loan, to determine whether it's a good thing or not, it's if you're not paying for it. So if you're not paying for the loan, like you from your salary that you have and paying for the loan, then that's good credit. But if you are the one paying for the credit, paying for the loan, then that's paid credit. So actually, it's good to borrow money, but only if you're gonna put it in an investment model, which will actually generate money for you and also for the loan repayment. I hope I shared something that maybe you resonate with or something that you understand. And I hope you appreciate this content, and thank you for tuning in and watching this. I'll actually keep on dropping this if you appreciate this and you want more. let me know in the comments what other thing that you, other concept that you would want to know about and learn about. From me, Tshemollo, I'm actually out. Peace.